probably are real sounds, and all these cartoon characters are probably based off of this video, including the scene from Finding Nemo where Dory's speaking whale.
Dory, I'm a little fella. I don't think that's a little fella.
Oh, big fella. Whale. Okay. Maybe he only speaks whale. We need
Dory,
to
what are you doing?
find his
What are you doing?
son.
Are you sure you speak whale?
Can you give
Dory,
us
heaven knows what you're saying. See, he's swimming away.
Come back.
He's not coming back. You offended him.
Maybe a different dialect.
Dory. Dory, this is not whale. You're speaking like upset stomach.
Maybe I should try humpback.
No, don't try humpback. All right. You actually sound sick.
Maybe louder, huh?
Don't do that.
Too much orca. Didn't it sound a little orca-ish?
It doesn't sound orca. It sounds like nothing I've ever heard. Oh. It's just as well he might be hungry.
Don't worry. Whales don't eat clownfish. They eat krill. Oh, look, krill.
How you doing, everyone? So, the Sierra sounds. Are they real or are they not? I'm not sure about that. Now, the beginning of it sounds real. The whoops and that stuff. So, for me to have to make an opinion, it would be, that the only option would be that they have legit sounds, and then they must have somehow edited it for some reason to add in those weird samurai sounding sounds at the end, which to me seems like something, I don't know. I want to say that they wouldn't do that. I feel like you wouldn't, but I don't know them. Al Moorhead and Ron Moorhead and Al Berry, I don't know them, but I'll tell you what, they have a version 2 and a version 3 of the sounds as well, and they sound even more unbelievable, like nothing I've ever heard before, and it just doesn't sound legit to me. They've been selling them for $10 a CD for years now, decades. So you can only imagine how much money they've actually made off these things. And it just doesn't seem like something that you would do if you were really interested in the research and, just the research alone. You would want more people to be able to access it and know about this if you really believed it was real, not just the people that you were willing to pay $10 per audio CD. To me, that screams of something going on there. Otherwise it would just be free. There would be no real reason to charge people for it. So, and just because they said they got it looked at by some people, doesn't mean that it's authentic. Just because they had it independently verified by some random people that they came up with. They say there was a real Navy cryptologist determined that there was a language they're speaking too. Maybe that's real. Maybe there actually is. Maybe it's totally legit, and I'm just, I'm being way too skeptical. But to me, I don't know. It seems like the whole idea that they had to go and then sell it just doesn't, it doesn't seem, and they could have easily put them on one CD and had all three of them on one CD for $10, right, if you're going to buy it. But they made 3 separate CDs, $10 each. So if you want all of them, you're paying $30 now. That's a lot of money when you think about it. If you got one person to buy all 3 CDs, and think of how many people bought them over the years. I mean, they made a lot of money on this, so I could definitely see the incentive to fake it. but it's just, it's strange because I've never heard anybody say anything like that. Like they've heard anything like that ever. And not to say it's not real. Could be totally real. You know, oftentimes when things are too unbelievable, it's because they are real and we just can't see something that crazy really happening. So, you know, maybe they're 100% authentic. Because, I mean, it almost seems like the way that the voices respond back to them when they let out those strange calls, you know, it sounds like they're almost like really trying to communicate to them. And, you know, it's not getting through to the guys. Like, if somebody was going to call my name, right? Like, say my mom or my sister, and you'd be like, Joe, and if I don't answer the first time, they say it again the same way, right? Joe. And then if, you know, they say it again, they might say it a little differently because I'm not answering, right? Or they might like, Joe, like, come on. Like, that's kind of what it sounded like from the guys, from the Sasquatch, when they were letting the calls out. It almost sounded like they were almost saying like, you know, what? You know, what do you want? And you know, they didn't really say anything. They just mimicked the sound that the Sasquatch let out. So they said it again, like, what? What do you, like, what? And they just mimicked it again, and it almost sounded like the Sasquatch was like, what? Like, what? Like, what are you saying? Like, not saying like what, but like it just making sounds that were like, almost sounded like it had a question mark at the end, you know? So either these guys are extremely, incredibly intelligent when it came to creating what this language that they might speak would sound like if they spoke any language, and made it seem really, really, really believable, or this is real. So, you know, there's all types of mixed opinions on it, but it seems legit to me. I mean, the guys are just out there in the middle of the woods, just making these weird sounds. You know, you can almost tell that it's not hoax, because the way the sounds come back, like I can't even mimic them if I try. No, I don't think anybody could mimic them if they tried. And it's funny because one of the parts distinctly sounds like the Scooby Doo laugh, which was made after these were released. So it's interesting because, you know, it makes me think that they stole the audio from these guys' clips and actually used it as Scooby Doo's laugh, which is just another thing. Like, anybody who tries to mimic that laugh or who thinks that they can mimic that laugh, you really can't. You know, that's probably the strongest piece of evidence I think that they have to offer with this, is that it was before the time of messing with things, you know, digitally, and you really just can't mimic that sound. Like, no matter how you try to make the Scooby Doo sound, it never really sounds like Scooby Doo. It kind of sounds like a human mimicking a Scooby Doo sound, you know? It never really sounds that crazy and just like weird, like Tasmanian devil sounding, like, almost. So, you know, and then where do you get that sound from, you know? Because that sound is almost similar too. So, you know, it makes me think that they probably are real sounds, and all these cartoon characters are probably based off of this video, including the scene from Finding Nemo where they're Dory's speaking whale. I think that's a direct reference to this. So, yeah, just something to think about. Have a good one.